the host. Victor waves and smiles at his father, who is seriously and calmly reading the news. Amitola and Motega come out from the kitchen and remain standing in the background and watch the news. There is a war and many people are fleeing the war zone. We have seen this in the fountain. Is that happening somewhere here on Earth? Asks Amitola. The two Mollimis both have a serious expression in their eyes. Yes, there are wars in several places on Earth, explains Emma. Martin and Emma look at Amitola and Motega. But how can someone do that to others? Amitola's eyes begin to fill with tears as she speaks. It's difficult to explain. It's war. In a way, it's legal. Emma shakes her head as she answers. But how can it be legal? Motega replies. He and Amitola look shocked. It's difficult to explain, Martin says and shakes his head despairingly. Is he your father? Motega asks while watching Eric on the television screen. Yes, that is our father, Emma replies. She and Victor both nod. But why is he not crying? Amitola looks at Emma, unable to comprehend. You see, you don't usually cry when you are on television, answers Emma. Amitola's cheeks are completely wet from tears, and Victor looks at her for a long time. Are you sad, Amitola? Asks Victor. She nods to Victor, and now Birgitte also comes into the living room. Oh no, let's turn that off. It won't get better if we see it, says Birgitte. Emma turns the television off. This is very sad for the people on Earth, observes Motega. His and Amitola's faces have lost some of their glow. We are going home now, says Amitola quietly. Will we see you tomorrow? Martin and Emma talk at the same time and look at each other in surprise. Yes, we are coming back tomorrow. Motega and Amitola also speak at the same time, but do not take notice of it. Goodbye, Birgitte, Emma's mother, and goodbye, Victor, Emma's little brother. It has been lovely to meet you. Amitola and Motega each give the same goodbye speech as they leave. Goodbye, Amitola and Motega, Emma and Martin's new friends from outer space, and welcome back another day, says Birgitte. She smiles warmly, and Victor gives them both a big hug. Then Martin and Emma follow them out to the hall to say goodbye. That evening, Birgitte puts on some music and sings and dances with the children. When Eric comes home, they are sitting on the floor and they are making a giant Christmas garland that fills half of the living room. Birgitte is laughing and kidding around, and she blushes. For the first time in a long time, she looks like she's really happy. What's going on here? Asks Eric. He looks somewhat astonished when he comes into the room. Hi, Dad! Victor runs out to his father and gives him a big hug. Did you know that Mom is always running around like a headless chicken and never has time to herself? Eric manages to return Victor's hug, but looks somewhat amazed. Oh yeah, I know, he says mildly, and sends Birgitte an inquiring look. What is that you're making there? He asks. He's looking at the garland. Birgitte tells him, it's a garland. It symbolizes peace between all the people on Earth. Birgitte is beaming as she tells Eric what the plan is. But Eric wrinkles his forehead. What in heaven's name is that good for? He replies. Eric looks very skeptical, but Birgitte enthusiastically continues to tell him about her plan. I want to try and get as many people as possible to make garlands like this one. The plan is to spread the idea and get everyone to meet at the City Hall Square at noon on Christmas Eve. Then everyone who wishes for world peace can come and put their own ring on the garland. Birgitte smiles happily and hopefully at Eric. Maybe the news will want to cover the event? Cover the event? He scoffs. Have you lost your mind? That's the craziest idea that I've ever heard. Eric looks thunderstruck. Birgitte calmly replies, I don't know if it will work, but I have to try it. Birgitte continues clipping out strips of paper for the garland. I think it's a good idea, Mom, pipes up Victor. He smiles a huge smile, but Emma can feel the tension between her parents, and she avoids adding any other comments. A bit later, when the children are in bed, Eric demands an explanation for Birgitte's behavior. What exactly is happening here? I thought we were angry at each other and have to divorce. Birgitte looks at her husband. She's sitting on the floor, buried in the giant garland, and her mood cannot be ruined. She smiles kindly and says, Yes, we certainly are angry at each other, and yes, we certainly are getting divorced, because you know what, Eric? I am actually tired of being sad and tired all the time. Sad and tired all the time? That's not my fault. Eric looks defiant as he speaks. I never said that, Birgitte answers with complete seriousness. Tell me, have you lost your mind? Eric asks again. He doesn't understand anything of what is going on. Birgitte pauses a moment before answering. Do you know what? I lost my mind the day I stopped singing and dancing, the day I forgot to be happy and grateful for life, and the children, the day I forgot to listen to the children. It was then that I lost my mind. For a brief moment Birgitte looks sad and thoughtful, but then she smiles mildly to herself and puts her hand over her heart. Is there something wrong with you? Eric asks quietly and then shrugs in defeat. There is nothing wrong with me, Eric. I am going to bed now, and I will sleep in the guest room. Birgitte gets up from the floor and lays the garland in the corner of the room. Eric stands back, speechless in his astonishment.